Hey up, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this week's video. You might be able to tell from this carpet of bluebells behind me, spring has finally sprung here in the UK and we're finally getting some good weather. We've got all these lovely vibrant greens and as I say, these bluebells are in bloom. I had to get out on my camera, just when it looks this good, you've got to make the most of it. But this week I actually got contacted by a company called Kentfaith and they asked if I could perhaps do some sort of collaboration. And what they've done is they've agreed to send me a review copy of a geared tripod head. I'm a bit of a fan of geared heads. I currently use a Benro one and I have done for a few years. So I thought, yeah, send it over. They've agreed that this can be a completely honest and unbiased review. So no money has exchanged hands. This is completely my own opinions. So I'm going to give it a bit of a look, maybe have a bit of a compare to the Benro, and I'll give you my feedback. So stick around, let's see what we can make of this place, and let's see what we think of this tripod head. So generally speaking, the main advantages of a ball head is the speed at which you can make adjustments, but to me that's also a bit of a disadvantage. So by just turning one knob, you're allowed to move in all three axes, up, down, left, right, pitch and roll, all in one easy movement. But if you just want to move the camera, for example, up and down, maybe you just want to exclude a bit of sky by tilting down, unfortunately it's very difficult not to move any of the other axes. The advantage of a geared head is each of those adjustments are made independently. Up, down, left, right, pitch, roll, they're all totally independent. So we'll swap over to that geared head and I'll show you what I mean. Right, so here's the product that Kentfaith sent out to me. So what this is a K&F Concept GD3W Geared head. And it looks really nice. It looks more compact, it looks a little bit more slimlined, a little less chunky than perhaps my Benro head is. So yeah, let's get the camera on and let's see how it performs. The first thing you'll notice though is attaching the camera. It's a nice simple Arca plate, which is fantastic, nice and compatible. You'll notice that the fastener, the tightener for the Arca plate is at the front. That seems to be a common theme with geared heads. I think it's just purely so that you then get access to all the dials, the actual knobs, the adjustment knobs on the back. So let's have a look at those. Let's just see what it does. So you should immediately notice that it looks a lot more complicated than a ball head, but they're not complicated to use. As I mentioned earlier, it just means that all the three individual axes are independently controlled. So by turning this knob, you've got the up and down, so you can see the camera moving there. This one down here does left and right, and then you've got the roll up on this top one. You've got these dials here which are really useful for just seeing those increments and, you know, for those micro adjustments. Now, although that's a lot slower than a ball head, that's a massive advantage in my opinion when you're doing landscape photography. It just slows you down. It just makes you a little bit more considered and a little bit slower in your photography. It makes you slow down with your compositions. And the beauty of it is because it's these small micro adjustments, you can just finesse your composition so much easier, just tiny little movements. Now there's going to be times where that slow considered approach perhaps gets a little bit frustrating. You might want to set up a composition quick and you might want to react a little bit faster. Now you're never going to be as fast as a ball head, but what it does is it has a little trick up its sleeve. So these coppery coloured, red, orangey coloured sections, these are like quick release. So for example here, if I want to turn, by turning the knob, it's all nice and slow and it's incremental. But if you turn the orange section, it just releases it and allows you to just make quick, fast moves. As I said, never as fast as a ball head, but yeah, it just gives you that advantage of being able to move a little bit quicker when you need to. Right, let's talk about some technical specs on this geared head. So it can hold up to 6 kilos of weight, which I think is quite impressive. That's a fairly sizable rig you'd be putting on there if you're pushing 6 kilos. Certainly more than a match for my Z7, no matter what lens I've got on there. The build quality, yeah, it seems really good. It's all aluminium. In fact, it's CNC'd aluminium. It's really nice, has a real nice feel to it. In fact, talking of feels, these adjustment knobs, they've got like a knurled pattern to them, really grippy, and that's going to be really easy to use when you've got gloves on. And these fast adjustments, they've got these cutouts, you just get your finger in, your thumb in. Yeah, that's really good and really easy to use. Again, with gloves in winter, I think that's going to not be a problem at all. I think you're really going to be able to use it. Yeah, all in all, it feels like a really well thought out and a really well made product. I think we need to put it into practice now. I think we need to get some shots. Let's use it and see if we can get some nice bluebell images. So I've been talking to you about the tripod head. I've been eyeing up this composition. Got this nice fallen tree and this arch across. as always, there's always a few issues. You've always got to work your composition. In front of it, there's a load of flattened grass and sadly a few flattened bluebells as well. It looks like to me, I think that's kids who've been going and climbing on the tree. You know, it's a popular wood with kids. In fact, there's a school sort of woodland adventure centre sort of thing just down the bottom of the hill. So I think they come up traipsing up here, and yeah, that's a bit of an issue. But I think in my mind, I think I've got a bit of a workaround. So I'll talk you through that, and we'll see if we can capture this image. So you'll be able to see there that trampled grass in front of the tree. But if I drop down, get down to bluebell level, hopefully you can see how that disappears and hopefully makes for a more compelling composition. So I've dropped the tripod down. I've been very careful where I put my tripod legs. Really been careful these delicate flowers. You know, I mean, obviously famously bluebells are, I think they're Britain's favourite flower, but they are a protected species, so we have to be careful of them. So I've dropped it down. Now the disadvantage there is now I'm sort of facing up, and there's a real worry that bright sky is going to encroach into the image. I'm lucky really, I'm facing uphill. There's a bank of woodland behind this fallen tree, so that helps alleviate some of the sky. That can be really helpful if you've got a hillside that you're facing onto. It just gives you a nice woodland background. Obviously it'd be nice if there was some atmosphere, some mist and mood, maybe some drizzle, even that one might help. But yeah, we've not got the greatest light coming through, but it's still nice to be here. We're gonna get this image. The first bluebells in front of me, well, they're about 8 inches away. So you know, Mr. Focus Stack. Yep, I'm focus stacking again. I think this is going to take about 8 images, to be honest, front to back. So yep, I'll put this together and you'll get to see the image now. Well, for whatever reason, I seem to be drawn to dead, rotting branches today. There's all this beauty, all these beautiful flowers around, and I'm drawn again to another rotting branch. I've got the tripod up high this time. I'm looking down on it, looking down on all that bark and texture, and I like that contrast between these vibrant spring greens and these beautiful purpley blue flowers. Yeah, it's just something a little bit different. I'm still keeping quite a high ISO, keeping my shutter speed quite high. I'm at 150th of a second. Again, it's only a slight breeze, but it's enough just to, those flowers are just bobbing about a little bit, so I just want to make sure I capture them nice and still. I don't want any movement, any blur in the image. So yeah, we're going to get that image, we're going to get that in the bag, and then we're going to push on so we can find something a little bit different. See if I can break away from all these rotting branches and twigs. But again, been using the geared head, making those fine adjustments, just adjusting the angle, really enjoying it. It's been an absolute pleasure to use so far. So yeah, I think I might be giving this a thumbs up. Right, I thought I'd just do a quick comparison between my existing Benro geared head, which interestingly has got a very similar product name. It's a GD3W. The K&F Concept one is a GD3W. I just thought we'd compare the two side by side. I think the Benro head is this blue one here is slightly smaller, slightly more squat and chunky. But I have to say, when it comes to the build quality, I think the K&F, I think it does have the edge over it. It just feels a little bit more well put together. Maybe it's just because it's new. Everything just feels a little bit more crisp. But yeah, the adjustments, the little micro adjustments, just seem a little bit nicer and a little bit smoother. So yeah, again, it's getting another thumbs up. So although Kentfaith have sent me this tripod free of charge, they've allowed me to be completely honest and unbiased in my review. One thing they have done is they've given me a discount code, or rather allowed me to create a discount code. So if you fancy this tripod head or any of their products, if you pop over to their website and you use the code GSPhoto, that'll give you a 12% discount. Yeah, I think I'm going to be making some purchases. I'm really impressed. So I've just spotted myself a little bit of a star tree, a bit of a character. Apparently that's what you're meant to do when you're doing woodland photography, and I bound down to people who've got a lot more experience and a lot more enthusiasm for woodland photography. Yeah, I've seen this tree. It's this nice gnarly tree. It's like a grassy bank. That's got the bluebells on it. The only issue I've really got is I'm actually catching quite a bit of the bright sky through the trees. Quite looking up quite a way. What I can do is I can crop in, and one of the gnarly branches can make like a natural frame to the top of the scene. ISO, that's still relatively high. At the moment I'm actually up at ISO 800. It's giving me about 100th, 150th of a second. And that just keep any movement in those bluebells. Hopefully I'll keep them nice and sharp. There won't be any movement, no blur there. You've still got those vibrant lime greens, so that's spring greens. Absolutely beautiful. Again, just finessing my composition, just making those little micro adjustments with these little knobs on this geared head. Just makes framing up your composition so easy. So if this image is any good, here it comes now. So my eye's been drawn to this mossy boulder with the bluebells behind it, and there's this one single tree with these lovely vibrant green leaves. The sun's just catching it nicely. Got to be careful, sun's streaming through now. Previously it were overcast and had quite dull light, quite muted light. The sun's beaming through now, so you've got to be careful that you don't blow out the highlights. But yeah, I'm liking this. I'm shooting vertical, and just to sort of get that depth and that lovely carpet of bluebells. So yeah, let's have a go with this. Let's have another go with this tripod head and adjust it and get the composition that we want. So by using these quick release knobs, these copper coloured sections on the tripod, you can just dial in your composition really quick, and then it's just a case of just using these adjustment knobs, these micro adjustment knobs, just to really dial it in. Just going to adjust the roll there slightly. And well, I suppose another advantage, all that were done one-handed. Normally with a ball head, we're just lacking it off, it can just drop forwards, and you're moving in all axes. So you don't have that precision control, but yeah, you need two hands. You need one to support the camera usually. I know you can get ball heads with the friction locks, but yeah, that's not always the case, and yeah, you can really do it all one-handed. What I'm going to do with this other hand, I'm not really sure, but I'll leave that up to your imagination. Right then guys, I think it's time we wrap things up. I'm starting to get hungry, I need to go get some food. I just want to thank Kentfaith for sending over this tripod head, and thanks to them for letting me be unbiased and honest in my opinions. But I think it's fair to say, from the way I've been waxing lyrical about it, I'm a bit of a fan. Yeah, and I do recommend it. Yeah, I've really enjoyed using it. Don't forget, if you pop over to their website and you fancy having a look at this or any of their products, use the code GSPhoto, the link will be in the description. You'll get 12% off. So yeah, I recommend you do. And thanks to you guys for tuning in. If you find the time, if you're new here, please like and subscribe and give that bell a bit of a nudge, and that'll get you notifications whenever I put any new videos up. So for now, amongst all these bluebells, I'll be seeing you there.